Hi, my name is Emily, and I was truly honored to be in this leadership class. I can honestly say that this has been one of the most rewarding classes, as I feel like it has met me really practically in where I'm at in life, and I'm already working as a nurse, but there has been so many opportunities in the last few months to really step into leadership roles, and this through the leadership interview and our other projects, it's really given me opportunity and tools to work with in regards to leadership. So I want to just take a time to reflect on my original definition of leadership that I provided in the beginning of our course. And it says, I want to have an open mind as I develop a further focused look at what Christian leadership truly means. I currently view leader figures to be individuals that not only talk, but they apply action to their words. I see leaders as ones who are humble, willing to listen to the words and wisdom of others, and find themselves having people follow and look up to them. Christian leadership is critically necessary as God calls us to stand up, make a difference, and be willing to shine as lights in the world. That's Philippians 2:15. And also, and as we make decisions to go against the cultural norm as Christians, leadership is necessary in the process. And while I agree with my original definition in a lot of ways, I have definitely grown and expanded my thinking on what it means to be a leader in our society as a Christian, and what tools we really need. So I was able to really develop some of that through this class and through the leadership interview project, and in the process of interviewing a leader that I truly respect. And so through that interview, the case studies, the discussion board, they were all really actually practical tools that really helped me. And the leadership book that we had the opportunity of reading was a really good resource that I'm going to hold on to. So first, with the Kouzes and Posner, the different specific areas, the model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encouraging the heart. In all of these areas, there was different tools that we learned, and I just want to share a few key things that I am going to take away and use moving forward. Number one, a leader does not have to have a dominating presence. And I think that's something that I kind of originally thought. And, if you don't have that personality that, can get everyone's attention in a room, then you're not a leader. I think that's a lie I personally believed in my own life, and because I'm not that type of personality, and other people, in my family had that kind of personality, and I more so took the backseat, and I would help and serve, but not step into leadership role. And I really appreciate that Kouzes and Posner spoke on the fact that you are not a leader by your personality, if that doesn't define if you're a leader or not. So I want to take that forward and break that own lie in my life that I believe. And instead of having that dominating presence, leaders should be ones that are able to liberate other people's vision and voices. So they're able to identify and look into a person and see, hey, they are gifted at this. You are gifted at this, and be able to encourage them in that, and then help them, give them the tools and support that they need to help them flourish on their own. And then Kouzes and Posner, they also talked about being unsatisfied with how things are. And that's where it's so important to be visionary and say, what what needs to be done. So recognizing the need and then applying action to it. We can't be people that sit back and are passive, but we need to be ones that are willing to speak up when we see things that are not just and not the way that they should be, and apply action. And that could mean not even accomplishing it all on our own, but saying, hey, I recognize that this other person is gifted in this area, and I want you to step up. And so some delegation might be necessary in the process. And then this is just a key factor that I realized before, but it was reinforced. The idea that listening is so key. We can be so quick to talk, but as leaders, we need to be also people that listen. And I saw this with Autumn in my interview, and I respected that in her. She's a very quick person to listen and not just, speak and talk and talk. And so we need more people that are listeners. And then also celebrating others. We need to learn the unique ways that someone feels valued and on our teams, and raise them up and celebrate one another. And then also in the Christian Character Index that emphasizes character, and I recognize that patience was one of my top results. So I want to use that, once I recognize that, I don't want to just sit with that information, but I want to use patience in my leadership and recognize that that's a gifting of mine. And then as well, in the 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni, they also talked about the absence of trust and how that can be a damaging thing to leading a group. And instead, we need vulnerability and honesty. And also the avoidance of accountability was another thing that was mentioned. And actually, as action, I am starting Not Groups, which is where we're doing like discipleship groups, and we're having accountability with one another in a young adults group that I am leading. And then in scripture, I've been really challenged with this verse in Exodus all throughout this course. And it says, it's talking about God leading, about Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. And it says, so it happened when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, even though it was near. For God said, the people might change their minds when they see war. That is, that there will be war, and return to Egypt. And I was just encouraged, the Lord is our ultimate leader. He knows us better than we know ourselves. And we really need to trust the Lord in that. And then just real quickly, some personal opportunities that I am being encouraged to step into as a result of studying the importance of leadership. I took on a conference that I'm speaking at as the only nurse in my hospital and another hospital, and I chose to step up and speak at that conference. And then I'm also leading a discipleship group for young girls in my church, as I've just been encouraged to step into that role. So I am so grateful for this class and the challenge and the feedback that I was provided. I really learned to hear constructive criticism and then grown to appreciate it. And that's really important. I am honored to be in this class, and I am excited to move forward and apply all that I've learned.